Welcome back to Not Just Numbers, the SBNG experience. My name is Yesenia, and I'll be asking all the questions today. We are starting today with a very special guest, someone who's gone from intern to shareholder, proving that hard work and dedication really do pay off. So he's a UTEP grad, an audit guru, and a die-hard basketball fan. Please welcome Oscar Loy Jr. Oscar, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Of course. So, Oscar, would you care to introduce yourself to our listeners?
Sure. My name is Oscar. I'm a shareholder here at SBNG. I'm our newest shareholder. I've been a shareholder since July of 2024. And yeah, that's me.
Alrighty, so let's start from the beginning. What made you choose accounting in the first place?
I always saw myself as either starting a business or being involved with a lot of businesses, an entrepreneur. And when I was getting into school, I thought about doing a general business degree. My dad grew up as an accountant, so he pushed me more in that direction just because he communicated that it would it would be better for me that I'd have that basic knowledge of accounting and then I could do whatever I wanted after that. So that's how it started,
Here we are.
and here we are.
So you started here as an intern, and that's been a big part of this journey. Is that Oscar started as an intern, and look at where he is now. So what was one of the biggest challenges throughout the journey from intern to shareholder?
I think the biggest challenge is not even just the technical aspect of our profession. I think it's more all the things that you need to learn, whether it's dealing with different personalities, organizational skills, learning to deal with the pace of a public accounting firm. I think that at each stage of the different positions that I've held up until now, that's still ongoing. I think that was the biggest, those were the biggest challenges going through each of the positions was just learning to adapt.
Right. So starting as an intern, do you remember what's the most memorable moment or the most memorable experience of your time as an intern?
I really enjoyed my internship. I also did take advantage of not having as many hours as everyone else. So, I know we talked a little about basketball. I remember as an intern one time, going to the NCAA or one of the tournaments they had here that UTEP was hosting. And I was only working about 25 hours during that time. I didn't work any more than that. So I
Wow.
enjoyed every bit of being able to do those kind of things while still getting a good internship experience. That's what I remember was the flexibility of being able to still be an intern, but also, grow with the profession.
Nice. So ultimately, what has been the most rewarding part of the journey so far?
You'll hear me say this a lot today, but I think that the two things that mean the most to me about this firm and just the profession is the people. Whether it was my bosses during the time, whether it was the many staff people that either are here now or were here before, learning from each of them, taking bits and pieces from their experiences, and also our clients. I mean, ultimately, they're the ones that keep the lights on, keep the doors open. So being able to learn from each of the clients and what's important to them and how we can help them, that's been the most rewarding part. Yes, I've been blessed to have success here and be able to grow, but all of that is because of those two things, because of the staff and because of our clients.
Yeah. Okay, Oscar, so we were saying that you are a diehard college basketball fan. So let's kind of pivot our conversation a little more into basketball related conversation.
Okay.
Okay, so if an audit was a basketball game, what position would you play?
I think now I'm the point guard, being one of the shareholders and leaders at the firm. I think uh, we try to set the direction, right? We work through our managers and our staff to execute what it is that we want to do. I think even the coach really sets that, and the basketball team is kind of giving the direction, and the point guard's the one that gets it done. So maybe
Yeah.
one of those two.
be one of those.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, what is the equivalent of a buzzer beater moment in an audit?
I think maybe not so much an audit. Well, I guess anything in public accounting is really any deadlines. I
Okay.
think we've all had some of those experiences where you're at the last minute trying to finish something, and you're able to get it done. That I think is one of those buzzer beater moments because you know it's very stressful, but also I think it's very rewarding at the end, right? Because you're able to get it done, and it takes more than just one person to do that. So I think that's the fun part about. There's a lot of similarities between our what we do in sports.
Yeah. So, teamwork is huge in basketball. So, how does that translate in working in an audit?
It's exactly like being in an audit. In basketball, there's five people or five people on the floor
Mm-hmm.
for one team, and there's some engagements that we have that there could be up to five people all working together, right? So each person has a different task, and each of them is equally important. Whether it's our interns that are doing more of the entry level test work or some of the simpler tasks, to a manager or shareholder that's tackling more of the complex nature of the engagements or dealing with the clients or some of those things. It's just like being in an audit. So those challenges that you go through in a game, high points, low points. There's definitely we go through all of those things during the course of working on an audit.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, if SBNG had a company team, who would be the MVP?
I'd like to say me, but I'm not going to say that. I think just like I said, it's a very political answer, but um, our clients and our staff are who's important, right? That's our North Star. That's what drives us every day. As shareholders, yes, we're the ones in charge, but ultimately, that's our driving force that we want to make sure we take care of is both of those things, and ultimately we'll be successful because of that.
Yeah, that's a great answer. So, like we had mentioned in our last episode, we're having our new segment called the Rapid Fire Round segment. So, are you ready? I'm going to ask you a question and you just have to answer it back. There's going to be maybe 4 or 5 questions.
No pressure.
No pressure. Ready?
Okay, go.
Okay. So, what's your favorite UTEP basketball moment?
I was in college, and they won the regular season tournament, and I remember the entire team coming into the student section giving us high fives and everything. So I remember that.
Oh, wow. Okay. What's the best thing about working at SBNG?
The clients and the staff. It's just the people. I love coming to work, to talk to everyone, and to engage with them, hear about their weekend, whatever it is. That's what I enjoy.
Alrighty. So, go to snack during busy season.
Candy and chips.
Oh, no.
They're not healthy snacks.
And who did you pick to win the NCAA tournament?
I picked Duke, unfortunately.
Okay.
Wow,
And if you weren't in accounting, what would you be doing?
My two dream jobs that I'd be doing is I would be a DJ or I would be a voiceover actor. They're two interesting facts.
Yeah, there you go. And he actually is really good at doing voices. A lot of the kids' movies, I hear a lot of quotes.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of those today. Maybe another time. Well, now it's my turn to turn the tables a little bit.
Oh, no.
You've done this podcast already, and no one's asked you any questions.
No.
So, what do you enjoy about your time here at the firm and about being our marketing and branding associate?
I'm going to copy Oscar's answer. The clients and the staff.
That's no fair. Try
No.
again.
Honestly, the people here are really great. My job as the marketing and branding associate is to make sure everybody feels welcome, to make sure the energy at the firm is great, and a lot of other things. But I feel like that's really important, is making sure that everybody feels like they have a space, a spot here. And so every morning I make it like a priority to go and talk to everybody, ask about their day, their weekend, whatever it may be. And it's so cool because it's like everybody is so down to talk with you about anything. And I'll be there stuck in someone's desk for like 30 minutes taking time away from work, but they're having a good time. Don't listen to this part. I
Not
won't tell you
listening
who.
to this part.
I also organize like all of the events. We have our Friday games during busy season to de-stress, and we actually had a game this last Friday. We played musical chairs. It was pretty crazy.
That game has a reputation here.
We were leaving the firm and we got a noise complaint, and we were just like, no, nothing happened here. So I feel like it's a lot. It's really fun being here, and everybody is so willing to participate and willing to put in what they have to in order to get a good time out of it. And so that's my favorite part about being here.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Good
I
answer.
answered my first
I like it.
question on the
I like it.
podcast.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Oscar. This has been super fun, super awesome. But before we wrap it up, do you have any final words of advice for students or young professionals looking to grow in their career?
You know that there's a lot of people that have a story like mine here, that have started as interns and grown to, you know, management level positions or shareholders. And I think that's what the reality of being at the firm is you can grow as much as you want to here. There's never a shortage of opportunity. And you know, we practice what we preach. We make it a comfortable place to work. We all have things, you know, inside and outside of work that are important to us, and we are totally understanding of those things. And we want to support our staff in growing with the firm. So whatever is important to them, we want to make it important to us too. So you may not know, especially when you're starting in this profession, what it is you want to do. I surely did not either. But I think once you give yourself a chance to really get into the profession and, you know, not be intimidated by some of the misconceptions around accounting or busy season or any of the other things, you'll realize how rewarding a career it is. And you'll always have work. You'll always have a job and a career that you can fall back on. So just put in the work and it'll come to you.
Nice. I love that answer. Alrighty, so with that, we're closing the books on this episode. So thank you for tuning in to Not Just Numbers, the SPNG experience, where numbers tell a story and the best accountants always balance fun and business. So remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at SPNG CPA. And then if you like the podcast, make sure to follow on whatever listening platform you listen to. And then click that notification bell just so that you're up to date with any next episodes coming up. We'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.